The best game of the year last season. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. Alabama, Georgia. The Tide took a 4-touchdown lead halfway through the second quarter. Georgia slowly working its way back, taking the lead with 2.5 minutes left in the game. But a one-play drive, the 75-yard pass from Jalen Milroe to Ryan Williams won this instant classic. But we are looking ahead to today, the rematch. And maybe that has people believing in the Tide based on what we saw last year. 57% of the money is coming in on Alabama at plus 2.5 on the road. All right, so of course, we're going to get the Alabama perspective from my man right here, but let's welcome in David Pollack to give us the Georgia perspective and just great perspective for everything happening in the world of college football. David Pollack, thank you so much for being here today.
Appreciate y'all having me. Thank you very much.
Yes, a legend in his own right. Georgia linebacker legend. I mean, 3-time All-American, 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year. So
long time ago.
College football Hall of Famer.
It still happened, though. College football Hall of Famer, all of that. You are here, of course, so we can sing your praises, but also so we can pick your brain in this game. So if the Dogs do what, they will win this football game.
I think if they can run the football. Like, the Dogs have a lot of really good football, a lot of really good backs. I mean, they got backs they can rotate in that are really physical. They can break tackles. So if they can get that ground game going, listen, this is not the Carson Beck squad where they want to spread it out and throw the football all over the yard. Like, they've got to be physical. They've got to run it. It's not going to just be with the backs. It's also going to be with the quarterback. Gunnar Stockton, he's very comfortable doing that. In the Kirby Smart era, only one quarterback has rushed for 10 attempts or more in a game, and it's Gunnar Stockton. He's done it 3 times. And think about in his short time. So it's a big part of what they do and how they do it. So the ground game will be key for Georgia. You're starting to see some signs where they've been better there, and they'll have to be against Alabama.
David, this Georgia defense is by far and away what we're used to seeing from a Kirby Smart coach team, When you look at it, they haven't even registered a sack with a defensive lineman. They're not getting pressure without sending blitz. What about this Georgia defense opens up opportunities for Ty Simpson, for Ryan Williams, maybe even a Jam Miller coming off of injury? What type of advantages can Alabama gain against this Georgia defense?
Well, you're right, because like you watch the Tennessee game and you're like, okay, they send 3. Nope, nobody got home. They send 4. Nobody got home. They send 5. Nobody got home. And then all of a sudden now you're playing man-to-man in the back end. And nobody wants to go against Everett. You watch 6, he's gonna be great on the outside. You can trust him in man-to-man coverage. But on the other side, it's like, okay, pick your poison. Ellis Robinson gives up a big 70-yard touchdown. So does Sevin Harris. Like, so they pick their poison on that side, but they do have to find a way to rush the passer better. Dame, you know what's really good for that, man? Being at home. Like, when you're at home and they're on a silent count. So when you got those people going crazy, and it's a night game, and it's the best atmosphere in college football, it's the longest winning streak, the nation's longest winning streak at home. Like, now the guard's looking at the center, and he's tapping him on his butt, not in a weird way, but he's tapping him on his butt, and then the center's going to lift his head up, and he's going to snap the football. Well, I know what the cadence is. I know what the snap count is. So big advantage for Georgia being at home, not just for their pass rushers, for their offensive line. Their offensive line really struggled to protect Gunnar Stockton in Knoxville. So at home, it cures a lot of L's and it fixes a lot of things.
David, do you think that this team is ready from a maturity perspective for this kind of game? Kirby Smart made a big deal before the season about how many first and second year players were on this roster. Do you think that they're going to be ready when Alabama comes to town and the crowd's going crazy, the lights are bright? Is this going to be a big grow-up moment for the young pups?
Man, this is the youngest team I've seen in a long time at Georgia. Like, they're counting on a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. We're used to going into seasons going, all right, here's 4 All-Americans for Georgia. Like, they're going to be All-Americans. This year, it's kind of like, who are those guys that are going to step up and make plays? So it's a young team in a young moment. And let's be honest, there's a 2,000-pound elephant in the room, too, because Kirby has 19 losses at Georgia. 6 of them are to Alabama. So, like, it ain't like you ain't talked about this and you haven't heard it all week. Now, if I'm Georgia, I'm downplaying it as much as possible. Nothing to see here, another game, nameless, faceless opponent. But the fans, even when they feel good about this game, they're still sweating because Georgia's had an Alabama problem. Like, Alabama's had their number. Now, listen, it's Kalen DeBoer, and that's different. It's DeBoer's pressure versus Kirby's burden. Because there's a lot of pressure on Kalen DeBoer and company. They're 2-4 on the road. You got people that are, saying if they win the lottery, they want to buy out Kalen DeBoer. Like that's how you've seen people react, and kind of it's been going the other direction since the loss to Alabama. So, it's pressure on both sides. Everybody knows what this game means. A lot of new characters, but this is a rivalry that we're very familiar with seeing over the last several years.
It should be awesome. It's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. There's also going to be an incredible atmosphere in Happy Valley with a whiteout on display and a similar type of narrative. I mean, we talked about Kirby Smart 1-6 against Alabama. How about the numbers for James Franklin? His inability to get it done in these big games. And I was talking to you earlier this week, when I watched Penn State on film this year, they've only played 3 games. They were much lesser competition, and they've been very vanilla, and they've looked very pedestrian. Do you think they're holding back something? Do you think Penn State unleashes some things that we haven't seen on both sides of the ball for Oregon?
I do. I don't think it's the preseason schedule. Okay, let's be honest. Both sides have had a cakewalk to this point, so you don't learn a lot about them. Drew Aller. I would have loved to seen Penn State use this opportunity to throw the ball 20 or 30 times and really get the passing game in sync. That's my only concern. The wide receiver position, going back to last year, man, they didn't have a catch against Notre Dame in the playoffs when it really mattered. And so who's going to step up at wide receiver? But let's not forget, this Oregon Ducks team is completely retooling, completely rebuilding, walking in again to one of the better home atmospheres in all of college football. This is not an easy task. You saw Arch Manning, who was hyped up beyond hyped up, have to go to a tough environment with Ohio State. Really struggle. Dante Moore, he's looked great. He's a flatliner, but he's about to get tested because them boys for Penn State can rush the passer. The James Franklin narrative is real, but here's what's real too. Andy Koltanecki 2 years ago is the OC. That side of the ball is covered. Now you bring in Jim Knowles, one of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football. That's the best 1-2 punch at coordinator in the country. There is no excuses for Penn State. It's got to be now because Oregon is literally replacing, I think, 18 guys from a year ago. Do they go in the transfer portal? Yes, but all new faces. And they haven't lost a Big Ten game. You do realize, guys, they're still walking around the ring like Conor McGregor, just kind of this is easy. I didn't know this. Was this supposed to be hard? We just joined this league, and we're going to win every regular season game. We're going to win the championship, and now they're starting to build momentum again for another season. Man, this is a huge moment for Penn State at home. That pass rush, man. We're going to find out about Dante Moore in Oregon as well.
Well, if we're looking at Penn State, we've obviously been very critical of James Franklin and Drew Aller at the quarterback position. But, David, you play linebacker. You know what it's like to face a team that has a great running attack like Penn State. And they've got a two-headed monster in the backfield in Kaytron Allen and Nicholas Singleton. How can that be a weapon for this Penn State team against Oregon to take pressure off of Drew Aller and not expose him to having to make the big plays?
Man, that's everything. And let's be honest. Let's go back to last year, the Big Ten championship game. They put up over 35 points against a really good Oregon defense, and they did it by running the football. Both Allen and Singleton go over 100 yards, and they use Drew Aller as well. And that's what I think you'll see because they do a great job of attacking the edges. So they'll run the power read where the running back's going wide this direction, but Aller's going down the middle. And he's big and strong, and he'll break tackles. But having both of them on the field together, this is an experienced offensive line. I don't think they haven't had to do anything crazy yet so far. I think we'll see the best version of Penn State in their offense. And I wonder about Oregon's defense. Listen, they ain't played world beaters. We know that. But against Oregon State, little bit of chinks in the armor. Against Northwestern, you saw you could run the football. And again, it was a little sample size. But that running game, it's as good as anybody's in the country because you throw the quarterback in there too. And so then how do you stop? And especially, and y'all see this, Damien, shifts, motions. They do it at a level that's nauseating. You're literally over here. So you're making the defense communicate. Okay, who's got this? Who's got this? Who's got this? 2, 3, 4 times before the ball's even snapped. And the next thing you know, Allen and Singleton, they're breaking off long runs. So this is a very tough offense. Even though it's not the most explosive, when you got those backs and a QB with that experience, it's tough to stop.
David, the Ohio State Buckeyes are the #1 team in the AP Top 25 poll. They got a lot of the votes. Do you believe that the Buckeyes are the best team in the country, and how do you think they're going to fare in this road test out at Washington?
I think Miami's the best team in the country. Miami's the best team I've seen so far. And listen, I'm a line of scrimmage guy. Like, I played defensive line. Like, it's see ball, get ball for a reason. Like, you see ball, you go get the ball on the defensive line. I love their defensive line. Like, they don't have to twist. They don't have to stunt. They just got a bunch of people that are going to kick the absolute crud out of you. Like, that is fantastic. They're so good and physical up front to play the run, to rush the pass. Their offensive line are a bunch of maulers. Like, I love what I've seen from Miami. Carson Beck protected. Like, it's a nice thing, isn't it? Like, you're watching Tony as a freshman come on, make big plays. Like, I love what I've seen from Miami. They've played good competition, so I think they're the #1 team in the country. But Ohio State, this is a big test. Second longest winning streak in the country is Washington at home. Like, that's a tough atmosphere to play. That's one of the cooler atmospheres and environments you'll ever see in college football. Julian saying, like, they'll pressure him a little bit today. Washington's playing pretty good defense. He's the nation's leading completion percentage. He's #1. Like, and he's throwing to Jeremiah Smith. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do. Like, right, DK? You'd love to. What am I seeing? Okay, throw it to 4. Like, that's an easy out. They got Bo Jackson toting the rock, but Washington can score. And when I look at Ohio State, and you look at how many points they haven't even allowed 16 points in 3 games this season. They'll give up over that today. Like, this Washington offense is explosive, very explosive, but the defense for Ohio State has been dominant. This is their first test, I think, against a really good offense. This could change my mind, Chip, about who's the #1 team in the country. They go dominate Washington, I have no problem saying Ohio State's the best team in the country.
Totally agree. This is a huge test for him. I think the thing that's interesting about this game is Damon Williams, the quarterback for Washington. We've seen a trend. I mean, guys that played like me would not have survived in today's game. You have to be able to run. You can't just sit back there like a statue in the pocket. But from a defensive standpoint, we heard Mateer talk about after they beat Michigan, the +1 run game. How much of a bind does that put on defenses? And if it's not designed run game, when nothing's there, you have an electric runner, a weapon in the backfield. How much pressure does that put on the defense?
And see, that's the most important part, Danny, because, like, the +1 is something. Like, that's so instead of the quarterback handing the football off and now he's standing there, like, he's running it. So that back now can go lead block. That's what the +1 is for all the fans at home. Like, so you get another blocker, you get an extra blocker. But here's the thing that's super annoying, man. I can devise any defensive scheme to stop the best players in the country. Absolutely, the best QBs. But you know what's really hard is when I stop the first read or the second read, and then all of a sudden he scrambles and he runs around, and now we're playing backyard football. That's the hardest thing. And then guess what? They get an extra first down, and then you got to play another 3 downs. You got to play another 3 downs. But it's not just him, man. Like, Coleman in the backfield, that's like tackling a tree stump. Like, that's like Michael Turner, man. Like, those legs and butt, like, he is thick. He is going to break tackles. So you get Williams who can run it, Coleman who can run it, Boston at wide receiver out wide. There might not be a better trio on offense in the country. Like, they've been doing nothing but scoring touchdowns, putting up great possessions. I think 8 out of 9 possessions in a game, they scored touchdowns. Their defense has been physical, stopping the run, which will be a big test against Ohio State. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if Washington puts up a bunch of points and is in this football game, because I think they should be ranked. I think it's a travesty that they're not ranked.
David, I do want to dissect one thing that you said, and we talked about Washington's defense, and they are playing well, but they're allowing a little over 200 yards a game through the air in the passing game. So what do you think, what kind of opportunity does this open up for not only Julian Sand, but for Jeremiah Smith, who's going to be going up against long, rangy corners, 6'4".
Yes.
But we've talked a lot about, the Heisman odds and where people are rising, where people are falling, the John Mateer injury. Well, if Jeremiah Smith has a big game, I don't see why his name couldn't be at the top of the Heisman favorite list.
No, and Jeremiah Smith's the boogeyman. I mean, like, I don't get it. You're not supposed to come out of high school like looking like that. Every draft analyst that you talked to said he would have been a top 10 pick a year ago. Like, that doesn't happen. To be 6'4", to be 220 pounds, to run 4.4 and cut and catch, like, it's not human. And so, like, how do you handle that and dictate to him? How do you choose to double him? But that's the problem, though. Like, it's not like they're missing other targets either. Like, you've seen Tate be really, really good. Bo Jackson's starting to run the football. Not that Bo Jackson. The other Bo Jackson is starting to run the football really well, and he's probably going to be their lead back. But, like, there is no one in college football that slants the field more than that guy, number 4. Like, It's just you have to, on every single play, know where he is. And here's what Ohio State's doing that's good, man. Last year, throughout the whole regular season, they put him in one spot out wide and said, okay, learn that spot. Now when you can move him inside and you can throw him the screens and you can, now he's going to win the jump balls and the contested catches. Like, now you got a problem, man. And so I think this offense is really, really good. But you saw Texas slow it down, right? So I want to see them against good teams as we continue to progress. And Julian's saying, I think he'll get pressured too. Like, because I think Washington can get some pressure. I think they can stop the run and make him work and put him maybe in some tough positions. But Jeremiah Smith is absolutely the boogeyman.
Everybody's jaws drop when you see him. That's how we grow him down here in Florida. I mean, that's like what we're used to. Real quick, because our producer's all over us. 30 seconds are left, Pollack. LSU or Ole Miss?
I got Ole Miss. And I think Trinidad Chambliss being inserted at quarterback was the best thing to happen to Ole Miss. Like, talking to their GM, he was like, yeah, we just needed a backup quarterback. It was after May, after spring. We're like, all right, this guy's got a lot of experience at, Ferris State. Okay, national champion at Ferris State. Like, Lane can do his thing, his magic. But I think that offense, again, will score on LSU's defense that's been dominant. And DK, I don't know what's going on with Nussmeier and that offense, but it looks nothing like we've seen the last couple years. And so I think it's at home, Ole Miss. They score a bunch of points. Their tempo will wear LSU's defense out a little bit. Close game, but I'm taking Hotty Toddy.
I love it. David Pollack, we're all
Appreciate it,
complimenting
Dave.
you on the background that you got going there because, of course, it's your podcast, See Ball, Get Ball. Check him out, the host of that great podcast. David Pollack, that is so exciting. I love talking to people that just know so much about the ins and outs of these games, including it's big time on CBS. He's the boogeyman. Ohio State at Washington. You can watch it 3:30 on CBS or streaming on Paramount Plus.